Okay, so actually, I'll just start this time. My scaling like faster. If that's fine with you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Actually, never mind. You can start. I don't want to scale.
Okay. Yeah, okay, just like as a really quick summary, it's just uh Kisame relative to Itachi, Guy way over Kisame, and then Kakashi overall relative to Guy.
Over Kisame. Okay, I'm fine with Kakashi over relative Guy. Why is Guy over Kisame?
He
Like master
blitzes him.
send it.
Yeah, it's just instance from last time. I'll send it again, yeah, sure. So yeah, it's just the end of the first panel and then the beginning of the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, so like Kisame is like rushing towards them, trying to kill them, and then the guy strikes him as he's moving, meaning that like say if Guy was coming from behind, for example, he would have to be moving faster than him to hit him. If he's moving in front to catch him off guard, while in front of him, he'd have to perception blitz him. From the sides, he would be going across a greater distance, so he'd be having to move faster in the same amount of time. So regardless of where he came from or what he was doing, he blitzed Kisame at the sea.
My issue is I don't see a reason for what's the name Kisame to be going all out because what he's trying to do is he's trying to attack Kurenai and Asuma, and they already have their eyes closed. And then Kakashi is just like weakened as shit already. He's been through the Tsukiyomi.
So you don't interpret this as Kisame going all out because he's trying to kill two of them?
Okay, it's like I can grant that he's trying to kill them, but you can try to kill someone but still not be going all out. Like if there's like a toddler in front of me that's like
Sure, yeah,
sleeping,
yeah.
I
I
want to
can
kill them.
grant that you don't have to be trying, you don't have to be going all out to kill someone. It's just that it's made very clear throughout this fight, one, that Kisame is like using like the normal output of all of his juices that he does normally. So like or like anything that he does. So for example, like when Kakashi fights and like when sorry, when Kisame is using his water bullet jutsu on the other two, and Kakashi appears, he matches it like completely, and like he was trying to unalive them with it. Sorry, to kill them with it. He wasn't like doing it. He wasn't like slowing himself down or anything, because he wasn't able to defeat the other jutsu. He wouldn't be trying to match somebody else's jutsu if he's trying to kill them. He would try to overpower them. Also, Itachi and Kisame make it very clear that they're trying to be as efficient and quick as possible. And when Itachi is literally telling him to make them disappear, obviously if he's trying to be as efficient and quick and like making as like little attention, drawing as little attention as they can, he's not going to be holding back, especially when he has three opponents.
Okay, Tachi tells him. Okay, well, I'll just go with the first thing first. Uh, okay, I grant that Kisame is using his normal output, but I don't see anything suggesting that the output that Kisame normally uses is like his full power or anything like that. But I don't see how Kakashi matching Kisame really matters. Like, can you explain that? Because I think your mic kind of like, was like.
Okay. So what I said was, since Kisame is trying to kill and like overpower Kakashi's like matching of his jutsu, right? If he would, obviously we know you can just like continue pouring chakra into something or like use more chakra to make it more powerful and like it scales to the amount of chakra that you're using and chakra control, etc. Right? Since Kisame is trying to kill them, right, and obviously he doesn't want to lose this clash, he would just be pouring like he'd be trying to overpower Kakashi's jutsu. Like there's no other logical thing he'd be trying to do. He wouldn't want to match it and then have a 1v3 or a 1v2. He would just try to overpower the jutsu and he wasn't able to. And then
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I can grant at that moment that Kisame is like going all out because like he actually has someone who's capable of fighting. But in this instance, what's the name? Kurenai and Asuma don't want to open their eyes and haven't had their eyes open because of Itachi's Sharingan and Kakashi just can't fight here.
Okay, so just because so you're saying you would grant it in that scenario, but not in this one.
Yeah, because the distinction I gave.
Okay, yeah. So what I would say is right. Actually, like he's going for power in the other one. In this one, right? So in the other situation, he had like two opponents, right? One of which was like a very much like weaker Kakashi because it's a clone, and it's like obviously not gonna have like his maximum like stats and output. And then also in this situation, before this panel, I'm not sure if it's directly before, but it's like before, right after he uses the Tsukuyomi, and he comes next to Itachi, he points out that Itachi is very low on chakra. It's like if you have three opponents instead of two, and the person you're fighting with is now like extremely weakened and tired, obviously you're not going to be holding yourself back, especially if earlier when you had two opponents and you had like just started the fight, if you were going all out then.
Okay. So okay, serious. Okay. When he has three opponents, though, I can grant that when he had two opponents, like he was going all out, and I can grant that when you have three opponents who have the same level of vitality, level of uh, but let's say like I fight two people. Okay, I can grant that if you fight two people and then you fight three people after, that if the three people are like trying as hard or like have the same level of vitality, aren't as weakened or like like that, then yeah, I can grant that he'd be going all out. But the difference is that when he was fighting the two people initially, they had their eyes wide open and they were in a position to fight. In this instance, no one of like the three are in a position to fight.
Wait, why none of them in a position to fight?
Kurunai and Asuma have their eyes closed, and Kakashi is just like weak. You already pointed out how he was low on chakra, and it's like he's at his knees already.
I was saying that he was a clone, so he would be like weaker than normal Kakashi. But okay, in regards to Kurenai and Asuma, like we don't know that they just like obviously like they wouldn't just like sit there and let themselves die, especially like when Kisame is specifically being told directly in front of them, make them disappear. They're not just gonna like sit there and let it happen. Also like obviously he's going to have to like put effort into it. He's not just gonna like walk over to them and strike them, for example. Also, like Kakashi before this point, after already being hit by the Tsukuyomi, was able to avoid like Itachi's clone, Itachi the explosion. He was able to like use jutsus, etc. So he can do all of that. Obviously, he would be able to like fight in some way, like avoid attacks, etc. So I don't think it's fair to say that he would just like um, be moving slower so that he can one by one take out these three opponents. Obviously, if they're trying to be as quick as they can be and not draw attention to themselves, which they fail to do, even though it's their goal, which is obviously why guy shows up and like why the Ambu were on their way. They're not just going to like move slower for no reason. Like, what actual motivation would Kisame have here to like not be at his full output? If he was at his full output earlier, and if he's trying to be as quick as possible and like get this over with.
Okay. Kurenai and Asuma, like if you look at the scan, even when Itachi says he saw him and make them disappear, they still have their eyes closed, so like, and they're not moving at all.
Yeah,
So
but
obviously
I'm saying like
they kind of are just letting
collectively.
it happen. Wait, let me address the other stuff though. Um, I agree that Kisame he's like some sort of effort to like kill them and stuff. I don't grant just like their full power. Uh, Kakashi avoiding Itachi's clone, like you can send a scan, we can just get into that after. But I don't see anything in the scan that suggests that they're trying to be as quick as possible. It's kind of what's in question. And one reason for them holding back so they could conserve their energy for Naruto and Jiraiya. They already know that, like they already stated that Jiraiya would give them like a hard fight. Yeah.
Uh, okay, hold on. So, in the meantime, pull up like the statement you're regarding to about Jiraiya. But okay, so you said, uh, okay, yeah. So, in regards to what I said about the clone with Itachi, I was just pointing out that like Itachi doesn't just like sit there and let himself get hit. He's able to move. He's able to use his jutsu, right? Like the water clone or whatever, right? Come up from underneath. He's able to move Kurona out of the way. All of these things. So like he would just could just do the same thing in this situation, right? It's like literally like 10 seconds later or something. What was the other thing you said?
In response to what?
In response, oh yeah, okay. You said that you didn't like see it. You said it like it's in what's in question. So I wasn't saying like I did give my justification for why he would be moving as like fast as he can. So just to clarify, they're like specifically saying like they don't want to draw attention to themselves, and they like want to deal with these people so they can move on, as you said, to Jiraiya and Naruto. So if they're doing that, why would they like hold themselves back, especially when Itachi is low on chakra, right? And he's got three people in front of him. and he knows others are on their way, why would he then like slow himself down if he knows this is the case? They're trying to get out of this situation, so that they can later on deal with Naruto and Jiraiya. There's no indication that they would like continue to do it.
Hey, Kakashi, when he saved Kurenai from one of the clones, but that's not even a feat. That's not even a feat of relativity to
I
Itachi.
wasn't saying it was.
I know, but yeah, Kakashi saving Kurenai. I just want to point out that happened when Kakashi wasn't as weakened as he was here. This like before the Tsukiyomi. Kakashi here's like odd, like we can just see him like huffing and puffing. What else? Yeah, one thing, like I don't think you've really addressed is that they might be wanting to like conserve their stamina for Jiraiya, given that they know Jiraiya will give them a hard fight. And if they know these guys are defenseless, they can just take him out, and that might outweigh any reason that they have, like drawing attention to themselves, knowing that the backup's on the way.
Do you think Jiraiya would give them a harder fight than Kakashi?
Yeah.
Why?
Itachi's confident that he can beat Asuma, Kurenai, and Kakashi, and also they're just like weakened as shit here. And Itachi says that Jiraiya would like they'd kill each other if they fought.
Wait, why would Itachi be confident in this if like before he showed up, like when they started fighting, they specifically said like they specifically weren't aware Kakashi was going to show up. Like they were fighting Kurenai and Asuma. Also like why would Itachi's quote unquote knowledge of how like strong Jiraiya and Kakashi are like actually indicate anything? I can give like proof to like the contrary as to why like Kakashi would be more of a threat.
Okay. I don't know what like Itachi expecting Kakashi to show up really does, but just show the proof of
Because you
like
were saying
Kakashi.
like he was confident he could beat all three of them, but he wasn't even aware all three of them would be there.
Oh, no, he says he can beat Kakashi.
Sure, again, like what would this mean? Like why would him saying
Also,
that mean anything?
what?
One, that would be relative to like there's no indication that that's like Kakashi at full strength and not like this 25 or 50% clone. And two, why would he have any knowledge on how strong Kakashi is? Sorry, like
Uh,
enough knowledge
well, okay.
relative to
Did you
Jiraiya.
say that the Sharingan in the data book can like see your true strength? So yeah.
So you think okay, so what's the exact statement?
It's stated that
The
Sharingan and
Sharingan
Itachi
shows
can
your
see
true
your true
strength.
strength. Yeah, but I don't think that even matters. If Itachi fights Kakashi, right, and engages him, that means he thinks he's gonna win. And that if he says that he's not able to beat Jiraiya, that means he thinks that those guys are real. I'm not saying that it is the case, like no matter what, like even outside of Itachi's own credibility, that he would he would beat the shit out of Kakashi. Okay, I'm not saying that right now. All I'm saying is what Itachi believes that he could beat Kakashi and go relative to Jiraiya. And what we're talking about is whether or not Itachi would want to leave or not. So I'm saying that Itachi could decide to conserve his energy for Jiraiya and Naruto,
Do
and
you
just
want to just drop whether or not he would actually have a harder time against Jiraiya?
sure. I
Okay,
never said that he
so
actually would. I'm saying he thinks he would.
well, hold on, I literally asked you. I went, so do you think he would have a harder time against Jiraiya than Kakashi? And you said
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I'm saying he thinks he would.
Right. Anyway, okay. So you're specifically saying like he would believe this to be the case, and then
Yeah,
your reasoning for this is the Sharingan is said to like show your true strength.
yeah. No,
Yeah, I
we don't
would
even
just
have to,
say that
no,
like
wait. We don't even have to get into the Sharingan shit though, because I'm saying if what do you call it? If Itachi thinks that Jiraiya's a harder fight than Kakashi, that lends credence for him conserving his energy for Jiraiya and Naruto instead of just like Kakashi and two other people who can't fight. And Kakashi also can't fight here.
okay. Um, wait, hold on. So you said outside of the Sharingan thing, what? Like just like as like a really like short, like concise thing. Like what's your main point?
Okay, the point is Itachi thinks that Jiraiya would like kill him and he'd kill Jiraiya if they fought. They kill each other.
Oh no, that statement was in reference to. Are you sure that statement was in reference to the Mythos? Wasn't
Yeah.
sorry.
I mean, they talk about a title as a Sanin. See, and
Yeah, but I'm saying like
even if it
can
wasn't
you send?
referenced
I
to
have the scan actually.
the issue is even if it wasn't referenced to they're still gonna fight Jiraiya and Naruto, or they're still gonna fight Jiraiya and Naruto. So that lends credence to. So then it would just Itachi views the Nine Tails or Naruto as a bigger threat than Kakashi here. So it makes sense for him to conserve his energy against like the Jonin and Kakashi. for Naruto and Jiraiya because Naruto's a threat.
Well, no, because hold on, the entire point is that Itachi was specifically trying to avoid this happening, right? So, for example, like when they actually go after Naruto and Jiraiya, um, they don't like go, okay, yeah, we need to make sure we have as much chakra as possible. We need to make sure like his energy, etc. For Jiraiya, they go, no, let's get a woman, put her under a genjutsu, and seduce Jiraiya. That way, we just don't have to deal with him, and we can get out of here as covertly as possible. Same way they're trying to be as covert right now, so they'd be
Yeah.
using as much chakra so they can get out of the situation as much as possible. And then also when it came to Naruto, they just like didn't like it just didn't happen, right? So we don't have any indication as to the fact they would be talking about both and not just the Nine Tails. And also we know that obviously they would be able to deal with Naruto.
Okay, obviously they'd be able to deal with base Naruto. I'm saying if like Naruto came out though, but look, Itachi and Kisame not talking about it like doesn't really matter. We see that they rest, they choose like chill in like a forest. That can like give evidence for my view. And also them
Hold on.
if
So
they
why would it
literally
be
if wait,
resting?
hold on, hold on,
You
hold
just
on,
said they're
hold
chilling. Those are
on.
like two
I
very
think
different things.
they're resting. So also what do you call
When
it?
they're resting.
Them knocking out Jiraiya, I think that was just to lure Jiraiya to them because Itachi it was either Itachi or Kasame. One of them states that Jiraiya won't be fooled by that.
So you think they had a woman seduce Jiraiya and like get him away so they could lure him to them when they were going to Naruto anyway? Why would they not just go straight to Naruto? Why would that make any sense?
They do go straight for Naruto.
No, sorry, as in like when he's with Jiraiya. If they were trying to lure Jiraiya to them anyway.
Oh yeah, because okay, I think that they believe what do you call it? Because if they just go up to Naruto, if they just go up to Naruto and beat the shit out of him and run away, Jiraiya might go after them and
Uh,
follow him and follow them to like the Akatsuki base. And the
and
Akatsuki's
you
like
don't think
an
this would happen
information.
if they lured Jiraiya there? If I were to
Uh,
grant that.
if they lured Jiraiya there, then Jiraiya would be nerfed from like protecting Naruto from Itachi and listening Kisame, so they could take him out.
Okay, no, hold on. Maybe you're not understanding. So I'm saying, so you said, right, that the reason they did that for Jiraiya was to lure him there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying, why would they lure him there, right, instead of just going after him and Naruto later on anyway? Sorry, earlier.
Going after him and Naruto?
Yeah, so like if they're obviously they're dealing with Naruto, right? And then you're saying they're luring Jiraiya there, but
Mm-hmm.
then if they wanted, so obviously in that exchange they would deal with Naruto and Jiraiya. So if they just went after Naruto and Jiraiya, they would just again just be dealing with Naruto and Jiraiya. Well, what are they gaining by having Jiraiya go away and then luring him there afterwards?
Well, yeah. If they don't lure Jiraiya to them, then what do you call it? Jiraiya can just follow them and find the Akatsuki base, and that's supposed to be like forbidden information. Like,
Okay, again, I'm saying like if they lured him there, why would this not just be the same thing?
if they lured him there, Jiraiya would have to protect Naruto, and they have an easier time beating Jiraiya.
You don't think they would have to protect Naruto if they just went after Jiraiya and Naruto like at
But
once?
if they went after, okay, if they went with what do you call it? If they just took Naruto and dipped, what's it called? One of them had to take Naruto with them. It would just be better to split up.
You're saying it would be like two one-on-one fights
And
instead of a
wait. Also, Jiraiya is the one who actually cares about protecting Naruto. Itachi and Kisame don't. Like, they can just drop him off on the floor and just fight Jiraiya.
yeah. So again, so we've already established they don't really have to do much for Naruto. They can just like take him out, right? So why is it that in one situation, they would have to like deal with Jiraiya two on one, and then in the other situation, one of them would have to deal with Naruto, the other one would have to deal with Jiraiya.
No, I'm not saying one of them has to deal with Naruto, the other one has to deal with Jiraiya. I'm saying, okay, in the situation where they, what do you call it? Jiraiya doesn't get lured towards them. Jiraiya follows them. They can just like jump off, drop Naruto off somewhere, like knock him unconscious, and then beat the shit out of them. Jiraiya can't do that though. He can't knock
Okay.
Naruto
Do you have any
unconscious.
reason for thinking they would do this?
Okay, again, they state Itachi knows that the lure won't work on him, so the intent was not to like lure him in. The intent was not to keep Jiraiya outside.
Wait, what's the exact statement?
I knew this. I knew the Genjutsu wouldn't fool you or something. I'll get it. I don't remember. Ah, how long's the debate been going on?
Hmm?
How long's the debate been going on? Like 40 minutes.
How long has it been going on? Check.
Yeah, it feels long as shit.
Where did you put the Rex in?
But I think it was in
You
general.
put it in general. Okay. Yeah. It's been 20 minutes.
Okay, here Kisame states it. Check general. Kisame
Give me.
says, "Kaku Kaku, Lord Jiraiya, touted as one of the 3 legendary great shinobi. Blah 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 blah. I didn't think our delaying tactic would succeed."
Okay, hold on. This is just like okay. So again, like they're trying to delay Jiraiya, right? So if they're trying to delay Jiraiya, that means their goal is Naruto. That means they're trying to avoid Jiraiya showing up, right? And then just taking Naruto and leaving.
No, okay. If they're saying that they didn't think it would succeed, then they don't care if Jiraiya gets lured or not.
Well, obviously they would care if it succeeds because they wouldn't have done something if they didn't care how it went. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't know. Wait, I misspoke. If what do you call it? If they didn't think that the tactic would succeed, then that means they're fine with Jiraiya getting lured in. Like, come to them.
Okay, so hold on. Exactly. Okay, so what he says was, I didn't think our delaying tactic would succeed that easily, right? So that means they did succeed in delaying him. They did
No.
what they were trying to do.
What? They didn't succeed. What? Jiraiya came save.
They
He
delayed.
saved
Hold on, hold
Naruto.
on. So hold on. So they call it a delaying tactic, meaning their tactic was to delay him, and he showed up late, meaning he was delayed. How did they not succeed?
Okay, it didn't succeed because Jiraiya showed up before they took Naruto.
Yeah, it is a delay. Okay, yeah, sure. They didn't delay him as much as they wanted to, but what you're saying is that they were trying to lure Jiraiya there, and they
No,
weren't trying to avoid confrontation with him. So you're just contradicting yourself.
I'm saying they're fine with doing it. It's better for them. But also, if they're saying that they
Better
just
for
want
them
to
to fight
delay Jiraiya
Jiraiya.
for like, hold on, if they're just saying they want to delay Jiraiya for a tiny bit, but they're fine with confronting him when they have Naruto in the hotel room, then that just aligns with what I said initially.
So what you said initially, right, was they were just trying to lure Jiraiya there.
They're fine with meeting up with Jiraiya.
Hold on, what?
They're fine with like confronting Jiraiya in the hotel when they have Naruto with them.
Right, and you also said that so they were going to take Naruto, beat him up, hide him somewhere, lure Jiraiya, and then fight him. What would they possibly gain from that?
Okay,
You said
if
because they were trying to avoid them
Jiraiya
going
not
to the
knowing,
Akatsuki base.
okay, bro, I'll say this for the last time, bro, because like I kind of want to go sleep. But if they gain Jiraiya not knowing about like where the Akatsuki base is, because if they don't lure his ass, right, and they just take Naruto and run away, then Jiraiya would know about the Akatsuki base, which is forbidden.
Okay. There's too much like unknown here. Do you want to just if this did succeed, would that then like would you still disagree with my scale?
If this succeed, yeah.
Okay, so we can just move on and like assuming it was correct, continue instead of
Uh,
spending another like the rest of the debate on
okay.
something that doesn't have any
Actually,
consequence.
I just rather I think I won that point. So like we can just hinge the whole debate off that. Because like if
So
I
wait,
won
why
that, you
would
just
you
tell me
hold
it
on, hold
doesn't
on?
go through.
Why would you hold on, wait. Okay. So to be clear, everything you're saying is just like speculation. Like, oh, I think they would do this. I think they would do that, and then you're giving like reasoning as to what could possibly be their motivations that doesn't really line up with what they're saying. Why would
I
it not
literally
just be
gave
like
the motivation.
live where I want?
I explained why. I said that. Okay, I said that Kisame and Itachi are fine. I mean, if they didn't think that the tactic would succeed, because also Itachi's unsurprised, and so is Kisame, and Kisame states verbatim, if they didn't think the Genjutsu would succeed, that means they're fine with confronting Jirai in the hotel room
Wait,
with Naruto.
wait. Okay, so to be clear, you're just like not interpreting the statement correctly at all. They literally said, "I didn't think it would succeed that easily." meaning it did succeed, and it succeeded easier than they thought.
Wait, it did or it did not succeed? Succeed.
He said, I didn't think our delaying tactic would succeed that easily, meaning it did succeed and it was easy.
Okay. I can't lie, I can't understand. Just say yes or no. Do you think that did the tactic okay, my bad. Did the tactic succeed or not succeed?
Yeah, the tactic succeeded.
Okay. But okay. Not only does he doesn't not only does he not say that, but like
That's
Itachi and
exactly what
Kisame.
he says.
Okay. I'll explain why. Itachi and Kisame are surprised. I mean, are not surprised by Jiraiya even confronting them when they have Naruto. So that means they're just like fine with confronting Jiraiya. Damn, I can't speak.
Sure. So again, it was a delaying tactic, right? That doesn't necessarily mean they were like avoiding any chance of him possibly appearing. Also, again,
I know
their
that's
tactic
still
was
okay.
to
What I was
hold
saying
on,
initially.
hold on,
Okay, go
hold on.
ahead.
Let me finish. Yeah. So their tactic was to delay him. That's why they refer to it as a delaying tactic, and they say I didn't think our delaying tactic would succeed that easily, right? Meaning it did succeed. I don't know why you're trying to argue with the statement you brought up.
Okay, that's not how I'm interpreting it. By the way, I'm interpreting it as I didn't think. Kisame is saying I didn't think it would be easy to delay you, something like that.
So that would just be like a different statement. Why are you interpreting it that way?
No, I'm saying that's the meaning. Like you could just interpret it both
Yeah,
ways.
I'm saying why are
But
you
I gave
interpreting
credence
it?
to mine.
So yeah, why would yours have more credence than mine since you're saying you're going to win this point?
Okay, because Itachi and Kisame aren't surprised by confronting Jiraiya with Naruto.
Yeah, I've already given reasoning as to like why that would be the case. It's a delaying tactic. It's not necessarily trying to avoid him showing up at any cost.
Okay, then we never disagreed. You agreed that they're fine with what do you call it, confronting Jiraiya in the hotel room when they had Naruto. We can move on, bro.
Okay, again, okay. So that's not what I was saying, but yeah, like I said, this doesn't really matter if you're going to disagree anyway. So we can just move on. It doesn't really matter. So okay, if we're gonna establish the okay. So you said you don't have any issue with Kisame
Oh, never mind.
being out to Itachi.
I do. Just in case I lost that point, I do. Yeah, why?
Yeah, okay. So the reason Kisame would be relative to Itachi is the they both it's made clear that like both of them might die or might have a chance against the Nine Tails, meaning they'd have some sort of relativity if they're like both like they have similar chances of defeating the same opponent.
Surely they have similar chances.
Yeah, but again, because like probably and then like might would obviously mean like they both have some sort of relativity, even if it's not like extremely similar. Like I'm saying, it doesn't need to be extremely similar at all because of how much Guy outscales him from the Blitz, which we already went over.
No, wait, what Kisame says is, he doesn't think he'll win, and Itachi says they'll kill each other. So I can just interpret that as Itachi and the Nine Tails are rel, and Kisame would just get bitched. So Kisame wouldn't win, and Itachi and him are rel.
You know?
Yeah, that's the statement.
Yeah, he
He
doesn't
said,
say
he
I
said
wouldn't be able to. He says I'm not so sure about me, and then
okay, so he's not so
even
sure
if
about me.
you
This
hold on.
leaves room for
Even if
him getting bitched though.
So Hitame says, even if you might be able to take him on, I'm not sure about me, right? And then when Itachi immediately after is talking about how he might be able to deal with it, he would say like even in this situation where he might be able to take him on, he would probably die in the process, right? So if both of them wouldn't be able to like beat the Nine Tails in a fight, but they also both might have a chance of being able to take it on, even if that like chance is different, that obviously implies some level of relativity.
Wait, if the chance is different, that means that they're not rel. But let me just address this. Look,
What? I'm not
Kisame.
saying that. What do
No,
you
wait.
define
This
rel to
this
mean?
works against you. This works against you because Kisame is saying, Itachi, you might be able to take him on. I'm not sure about me, so he's not sure he might be able to take him on. So Itachi might be able to take him on. He no, he might. He won't. That possibility doesn't exist. That's it.
What?
It's
The
he's saying
possibility
possible
doesn't
for
exist.
Itachi to
That's
do.
why he says, I'm not sure. Are you okay?
Okay, what Kisame is okay. When Kisame says, "I'm not sure about me maybe being able to take him on," that leaves room for the interpretation of Kisame thinking that he'll get outright bitched. That there's no possibility that he wins. Okay, but he's saying that Itachi would. Like Itachi might win.
So why would it leave room for this interpretation that he would get bitched if it's I'm not sure? Like if
Okay,
I say, oh, I'm not sure if it's gonna rain today, that doesn't mean it's definitely not gonna rain today.
that's what I'm saying. Okay, not sure means not 100%. So what Kisame is saying is, I'm not 100% that I might be able to beat Itachi. That leaves room for him being 0% sure about him being able to beat it. Take on the Nine Tails,
Okay, so
or like 10%.
what? Okay. So just to be clear, right? So what he would be saying is, oh, I'm not very certain, I'm not 100% sure that this is what would happen, right? That
Yeah,
doesn't
and
then
not
mean there's a
100% sure.
0% chance of it happening. That makes no sense.
No, I'm
That would
not
mean like
saying
a 99% chance or something.
no, I'm not saying if there's not 100% chance of him taking on the Nine Tails, that means that there's a 0% chance. No, I'm saying there might be a 0% chance. It leaves room for there being a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, etc.
I think what
Just
you're trying to say is there's a chance he would win or lose, right?
no. I'm saying okay.
What the fuck are you saying?
Okay, I'm saying the chance of Kisame maybe. Okay, I'm saying the chance of the possibility of Kisame taking on the Nine Tails existing is not 100. So it leaves room for it to be a 0, or like anywhere up to like
So
anywhere
because
less
the
than
chance isn't
anywhere
100,
50 or less, anywhere like less than a 50 is fine.
okay, why would it not be like just 50, for example?
Okay, so if he's not okay, this is Kisame cooking down then, because then if he's not sure whether or not he can beat, if he's like completely like undecided on whether or not he can beat the Nine Tails, whether or not there's a possibility he can beat the Nine Tails, but he thinks there is a possibility that Itachi can beat the Nine Tails, he's cooking down.
Let me just tell you like my interpretation, and then you can see if like what you think of it, right? So if you're not sure about something, obviously that means you're not certain, right?
Yeah,
To be certain, you have to be like 100% that this is what's going to happen.
yeah,
Okay. So if you're not 100%, that could then mean, okay, I'm like 99% sure this is what's going to happen, or I'm 50% sure, or I'm 40% sure that this could happen. There is a chance, but I'm not 100% that it's going to happen because it is probability. I never know for sure. For example, like if I'm going to roll a die, I'm not sure that it's going to land on a 4 instead of a 6, right? But that doesn't mean there's no chance of it happening. That doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't be saying I'm not sure. I would just say it's not going to happen because for there to be a 0% or an 100%, you wouldn't be not sure. You would be certain that it wouldn't happen, or you'd be certain that it would happen. Saying you're not certain either way obviously doesn't leave interpretation for 100 or 0.
okay. I can rent that doesn't leave interpretation for a 0, as long as like a 1 to like a 50 still supports me.
Okay, let's just say 50 and move on, but I'm not like
Okay,
conceding the point.
okay, but like, and
Okay.
I explained how that's Kisame cooking down.
Okay, so why would that be Kisame? Okay. So before we do this, okay, just to be clear, what are you defining relatively? Because I'm not saying they're like directly like equal in
You
strength.
wouldn't get blitzed. You wouldn't get blitzed. Like a speed blitz, not a perception blitz.
So you have what Itachi at like double Kisame?
I mean, I, I guess, yeah. Because I think Itachi's way above like Oro and those guys, and Oro's like way above
Okay,
Kakashi.
but just so we're clear, you have him,
Yeah, I
like
personally think.
he wouldn't be able to get blitzed by Kisame, and he could blitz Kisame. That's what you're saying.
Yes, yeah, that's what I personally think, man.
Okay, right. What's your reasoning for
Well, I just want to stay on this scan though. Are you gonna drop this?
that? Wait, hold on. Why would we drop it? We just said we can just land on 50%. So under
But
my
if
definition of what I want rel to be, that's fine.
no, because if there's 50%, then what he's saying is, okay, then how? Okay, if it's 50%, how does this get them bro? Because like, it just keeps me cooking down. That's it. That's all
Yeah,
I was gonna
like
say.
I said, it's like somewhat rel. Like that's why I'm saying. Like, okay. For example, right? So it says here, right? It's actually might be able to. Again, that's not certain of 100 or 0. So we would just interpret it the same way. Like, why would we say it's different? We can say like from what they
No,
say,
I'll tell
it
you the
would
difference.
be. Hold on. From what they say, we can say like it would obviously be above what Kisame said. I can grant that, right? It would be like the percentage of the chance of him beating him would be above. But we can't then say, okay, it's going to be 100% he's going to beat him or whatever. So we know it would be somewhere between like 50 to 99% chance that Itachi would beat him. Meaning like whatever however like better chance Itachi has can't be double or can't be more than double. From what I'm trying to get out of this, or like the somewhat rel statement that I gave, that this is fine. I'm not dropping anything.
Okay. Well,
Excuse
for
me.
one,
So yeah, I'm not trying to
no,
interrupt, but
fuck,
Flames,
yo,
after this debate, you're just
one,
debating me.
whatever, dude. Okay, look, the thing is, Haram. Yeah, Haram. We're not doing it today, dude. Like, I'm tired. We
You
can do it
missed what I was
tomorrow.
gonna say.
Anyways, okay.
Oh
Look,
no, you're
so
just
shut up,
I'm gonna
Haram.
never mute
Listen,
him.
come on. I'll just explain this, okay? Kisame, they're saying two different things. Kisame is saying that because like what we agreed on was Kisame is saying there's a 50% chance that he might be able to beat Itachi, but for Itachi, there's a 100% chance that he might be able to beat what's the
Well,
name?
hold on, no, I said 50% chance he would be able to beat him. I never said mine, and then you
Oh,
agreed. I don't know why we're switching.
oh no, okay. Let's go back to that then. That's what the scan says. Because you said not so sure that we can just interpret that to mean 50%. So Kisame is saying even if you, Itachi, might be able to take him on, I'm 50% sure about me. And he's obviously indexing it, comparing it to the previous statement, which is him maybe being able to take it.
Well,
What's the name?
no,
The
but hold on.
9.5.
Those statements would just be in reference to Kurama, right? So it's okay, you might be able to beat this person. I have a 50% chance of beating this person, for example. Like, it's that simple. I don't know why
No,
we're
no,
overcomplicating.
no, okay. What Kisame is doing is he's comparing Itachi and him. Like, you can't show me what you're saying in the skin. Kisame is comparing Itachi and him and their performance against the Naruto. He's saying that Itachi might be able to take him on. And then Kisame is saying, I'm 50% sure about him. And if they're comparing each other, then he's saying, I'm 50% sure about me maybe being able to take him on.
Okay, so where do you get this maybe from? Just because you're talking about, just because it comes after the other part?
The what part?
Okay, hold on. So okay, look, I'll ask differently. Then. What do you think it means to have a 50% chance of maybe being able to do something? What does that mean?
Okay.
Because obviously maybe means you're not sure. Like that's why I'm saying the statements are
No.
like the same. So
Okay.
give me your
Okay.
interpretation.
So the possibility of him going rel, what do you call it? The possibility of him going rel to Naruto has a 50% chance behind it. That's literally all it means.
Nine
I,
tails. Hold
I'm
on, okay,
breaking
so
down more
you,
than
you
that.
think there's a 50% chance of him going rel with nine tails, right?
No, not of him going rel with him.
Okay, of him having a
A,
chance.
fi-
So you think there's a
yeah,
50%
a
chance of a
50%
chance
chance of it
existing.
being possible. A 50% chance of it being possible.
Okay,
That's what
so
he's saying.
one, what does that mean? And again, two, why would this interpretation have more credence than mine?
We'll restate that. I'll type in chat.
Okay, yeah, so one, why would look at what did you say, bro? Getting fried.
Yeah. I said there's a 50% chance of it being
Oh yeah,
possible.
okay. What does it mean? What does it mean to have a chance of something happening?
A chance of something being possible.
A chance of a chance. Because that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. If there's like, okay, I'll give you like an example. Yeah. Let me mute Rob.
I
You're
already
free,
said I
buddy.
muted him.
Okay, there, Haram, just don't speak, buddy. Okay. If there, let's say I like flip a coin, right? Let's say there's a 50% chance of like me getting heads, 50% chance of me getting tails. In this case, some people like you can say that there's 100% chance of a 50% chance of me getting heads.
There's a 50% chance of you getting heads.
100% chance of 50% chance of me getting heads. Yeah.
Okay. So then apply that to Kisame then. So you're
Okay.
saying there's a 50%
Just like the head
chance
thing.
of a 50% chance. 100%. You're saying there's a 50% chance of him give a 50% chance of beating the Ninetales?
50% chance of it being possible Kisame goes rel. There. I typed it.
Right. Okay. Okay. We'll do this simpler because again, there's no reason to argue like these stupid ass like semantical interpretation points or whatever the fuck, right? So where would you in relation to this statement say it's like 50% of right? Because
Well,
like
I
my
what?
yeah, so like because you're saying like my 50% chance of might being able to beat him, right? So again, I don't see like why might would be any different. So sure. do you want to just say 50% chance in regards to a statement, 25% chance of him being able to take on the Nine Tails, and then like 50% chance for Itachi?
I can't lie, bro. Kind of explained it twice, and we
No,
kind
I
of did.
understand what you're saying. I'm saying give
No,
it
we hit the time
quantify.
limit. But restate it.
Yeah, I'm asking you to quantify. Right? Give what you think Kisame's chance and Itachi's chance would be.
I don't know. I just know that Itachi is higher than Kisame.
Yeah, again, that's fine. I'm just trying to establish some sort of relativity. So if you can't quantify it, why
Oh,
would
oh
you say
yeah,
that
oh
he's
yeah,
higher?
oh yeah. The chance of Itachi being possible, the chance of Itachi possibly going rel to the Nine Tails is 100%. Chance of Kisame possibly doing it is 50.
Okay, so we can just say he has double the chance of taking on the Nine Tails.
Yeah, double the chance of like possibly being able to take on Nine Tails. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So basically, we just wasted 15 minutes because that was what I was arguing from the beginning. Right.
but yeah, and we kind of have 1 minute left. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we've established this level of relativity. I'm just gonna continue on with the rest of my scale. Right.
wait,
So
what?
I'm
That was a
saying that
bit
you can just
tough.
like give your contentions after. No, I'm not saying they're relative in terms of your definition. I'm just saying there's some level because they're double, whatever. My definition of relative is obviously different to yours, right? But if Itachi has double the chance, right, that's fine. So
I
Guy
mean,
again blitzes Kisame, meaning he would already like be at this level. Um, Itachi stated to be the strongest in all of Konoha, the strongest
yeah. Wait,
ninja.
wait, 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 wait.
Obviously, he would be
I
a
grant
five-gate
Kakashi over
guy
guy.
who would be at least 24 times the guy that we just saw fight, because that's what the statement for the gates is, meaning that Kakashi would be dozens of times above Kisame, who you're saying only has double the chance of taking on the Nine Tails. So why would he not be above Itachi?
Okay, okay. The scale you have so far, let me just type it out. Kakashi over guy. I grant you that. You didn't prove. Okay, we went over the him versus Kisame, right? Like I don't know if you won that point. So like we put a question mark there, and then he's under Itachi by like let's say Itachi has 100% chance of doing something that Kisame has a fifty
Okay, do
percent
you want
chance
me
of.
to write it out
You
for you?
can't. Well, I already did, but the issue is you can't put the fact that Itachi has 100% chance of doing something and Kisame having like a 50% chance of doing something into multipliers to say that like Itachi is like 2 times stronger than him.
Sure, again, it doesn't need to be quantified. We know that they have some sort of relativity. Okay, Itachi
No,
isn't going to be
no,
like
we don't.
5 times stronger than Kisame if he has double
Why?
the chances.
Why? I don't.
Okay.
Why do they have some sort of relativity?
Yeah, because otherwise, Itachi would just be like, okay, yeah, I would be. Okay, let me give you an example. Right? Let's say like there's an armed gunman in front of us, right? And I say like, okay, I have a chance of being able to take him on. You have like half the chance of being able to take him on, right? If I was just like several leagues above you, then my chance would obviously be way greater.
No, that's not how it works. Okay, look. Let's say I have a. So we're fighting Haram SpongeBob, right? I have 100% chance of beating the shit out of him, while you have a 50% chance. Okay. Now I can be. Wait 1 second. I can be a million times stronger than you and still have that 100% chance because I can't go past 100.
Sure, but neither of them have 100, so that just like wouldn't apply for reason.
So what?
Yeah, but
Wait,
neither of
Itachi
them
has a
has a
hundred.
100% chance.
Itachi has 100.
Yeah, Itachi has 100. Yeah, okay. In regards to whether or not they would actually be able to do it, that's something else, right? So we were saying that he would have double the chance of possibly being able to take on the Knights, right? That's what we said. And then that would be 100 in regards to that. In regards to the actual Nine Tails, like if they were to actually fight him, that would just be like 25 to 50, right? We can't say that just because he would have an 100% chance of possibly being able to take him on, that would be the same as like a 100% chance of taking him on. That's like two very different things.
I can't lie, bro. I don't think you can prove the 25 to 50 times shit, but you're saying that what do you call it? You're saying that Itachi would have 25 to 50 times like he'd be like that much stronger than what's like
Times?
Kisame?
No. Okay. Again, I'm just saying like I don't think you've given sufficient reasoning as to why Itachi would be over double Kisame.
Okay, we can move on then, because like this debate, like the time we've hit the time limit already in the first place.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, man, save the wreck.
Hmm.
Haram, I definitely have